Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Empowering Lives Through an Online Business. And today we have the following topic for you guys.
Okay, today we have why consistency beats talent every time.
Yes. So that's what we're going to be talking today. But before we dive into our topic, let us introduce ourselves. So, hi everyone, my name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but currently residing here in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. My name is Isabel. I am originally from Mexico, now living in North Carolina with my family. I am a digital business owner and a mentor.
Yes. And we also want to remind everyone that every Tuesdays and every Thursdays we have our live webinars. So if you want to learn how you can start your online business and start earning online, all you have to do is just register into any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. So when you register into our website, you will receive an email that will contain two links. The first one is to register to the live webinar. So that one will take you to a page that will have two buttons. So one for Tuesday, one for Thursday. So you can register for either day or for both. And both days, the live webinar happens at 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. The second link you get there is the link to the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you cannot attend to the live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch the replay and watch it from the comfort of your own home. In addition to that, we also invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. Now, you're probably wondering, so what is it that you're going to find out on the webinar? On the webinar, you're going to find out how an online business plan works, and also you get the opportunity to hear from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So if you want to catch the replay from yesterday's live webinar before next Tuesday's live webinar, here were the hosts and panelists for that day.
Okay, so we had our live webinar yesterday or last night, and we had Tina as our host. She's a retired business development manager. And we also had Catherine, who is a church employee, Miriam, who is an entrepreneur, and we had Romela, who is a chemist. We also had Mafata, who is a home caregiver, Ateka, who is a nurse, Mary, who's a caregiver, and Maker, who's a registered nurse. So as you can see, we had people from different walks of life on our webinar. If you want to learn more about this opportunity, don't forget, you can either register on the web pages you see on the screen, send us a direct message, or comment info so that we can share the information with you.
Yes, thank you, Isabel. So if you're catching the replay of yesterday's live webinar, our replays has subtitles in several languages, and our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages: the Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. So there you go. So if you want to learn how you can start your online business, all you have to do is just register into any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. All right, so let's dive in. Sorry. Let's dive into, okay, there. Let's dive into our, oh my God, I don't know what's going on today. Hold on, guys. Okay, there you go. Okay. Okay. So what is our topic for today?
Yes, so for episode 35, we have why consistency beats talent every time.
Yes. So that's what we're going to be talking today. So, welcome back to another episode of the Empowering Lives Through an Online Business. And happy and blessed Friday for those who are on Friday, and happy and blessed Saturday for those who are on Saturday. So here is the topic for today. So there's a common belief that success belongs to the most talented people, and that's what we usually believe. But in reality, you know, talent might open a door, and consistency is what it keeps it open. So you might have the talent, but what it makes the difference is the consistency. So today we're breaking down why showing up consistently matters more than natural ability, especially when building a business and a life with purpose. So for that, we're going to be talking about the following points.
Okay, so we have 2 points for you today. Number one, consistency compounds over time. And number two, consistency builds trust and confidence.
Yes. So that's what we're going to be talking today. So let's dive into our first point.
Okay, so consistency compounds over time. For a long time, I believe progress came from big moves, perfect timing, or finally feeling ready. But my own journey taught me something very different. Real change didn't come from one bold decision, it came from the small things I did repeatedly, especially on the days when nothing seemed to be working. And research from the University of London supports this. People who practice small, consistent behaviors outperform more talented peers by up to 60% over time. So why? Because consistency compounds. So every small action builds on the last. Um, skills quietly sharpen, confidence grows without announcements, momentum forms before results are visible. And at the beginning, consistency feels unrewarding. You're showing up, but the results are slow. And sometimes you may feel disappointed. Sometimes you may feel like you're not getting anywhere. And, you're practicing the basics, but no one is, clapping for you. And you're committed even when the excitement fades. And that's very important, to be committed, to be loyal to yourself, and to keep going even on the days when you don't see any results, when you don't see any engagement, when you don't see anybody clapping for you. And that's where most people stop. A lot of people stop when they don't see those results. But I kept going, not because I was the most talented or the most confident, but because I stay present. I honor the progress when it felt boring, uncomfortable, or uncertain. And I'm not going to say that it's easy. I'm not going to say that every day you're like, okay, let's keep going. The results are coming. I know some days you feel down. Some days you feel like, why am I doing this? Because I don't see the results. But when you stay consistent and you keep going, even on those difficult days, even on those days when you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, you know that's what really staying loyal to yourself is all about. Consistency isn't dramatic, it's faithful. So talent without consistency eventually stalls. Consistency, even without talent, keeps you moving forward. So over time that movement changes everything. So if you keep showing up, if you every day choose to keep going even when you don't see the results, you're building the confidence, you're building consistency, and you're building this habit of, yes, this is what I want to do, I'm going to keep going. And over time you're going to see those results. So you don't need to do more, you need to stay longer. Consistency is what turns efforts into results. And it may be an invitation to stay consistent and let time do its work. So always remember, on the hard days, on those days where you really feel down, just remember to stay consistent and the results will come over time.
Thank you. Thank you, Isabel. Yeah, so Isabel just talked about consistency compounds over time. So even if it's every small step, but you're consistent showing up for every time, those on the long term, that compounds. So that makes a huge difference because you're moving, you're not staying in one place, and you have that momentum created. So let's go into the second point. So consistency builds trust and confidence. So when I transitioned from 25 years in the film industry into the digital space, I didn't have all the answers. And, many of us, when we come to this online industry, the digital space, we don't have all the answers. But what I did have was a decision, to keep showing up even when I didn't feel ready. And, at first it was uncomfortable. Okay. Like posting content felt new to me. I was not used to post every day. And, that like I was used to post, like before, like for my personal, posting to friends, but not as, be committed to post every day. So in learning systems, it took time, because it's something new. So that, I had to get used to, that I needed to have patience for me to learn. And, some days, I question even if I was most making progress at all. Because, you don't see the results right away. But if you are consistent, that's when you start seeing the results on the long term. So that's why we are talking here about consistency. But what I discovered along the way is that consistency builds something stronger than results. It builds trust. Okay. And a study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology, they found that consistency efforts increases self-trust and follow through by over 40%. So that means that every small action, every video posted, or every Zoom call I attended, or every conversation with a mentor became proof that I could count on myself again. Okay? Because confidence doesn't come before action. It grows into, from action repeated with intention. And we always say, that we always give the example here, about doing lives. When we started, we didn't have that confidence, but as we keep showing for every life, and doing it, that's how we started to build that confidence. So consistency builds three things that change everything, and that is confidence in your abilities. So you start seeing evidence that you can learn, you can adapt, and you can improve. The other thing that you will see change is the credibility with others. So people trust you because you do what you say you will. Okay. And the last one is momentum in your business. So, like I mentioned before, small steps compound into visible growth. So, when you do it like small little steps, that's when you start on the long term, you're going to start seeing those compounds on your business. So in my online business, this consistency looked like showing up for my community, mentoring others, learning new tools, and sharing my story with honesty. Not perfectly, but faithfully. And over time, what started as courage turned into confidence. Okay, so what began as uncertainty turned into stability. So here's a message for all of you. People don't follow perfection, they follow reliability. Your consistency tells others they can believe in you, but more importantly, it teaches you to believe in yourself. So even the strongest systems, the best mentorship, or the most powerful tools only work if you show up for them. And that is totally true. You can see that in our online business. You can have all the tools and everything, but if you don't showing up to learn, showing up to attend those calls, or showing up for your business, it doesn't make any difference. You really have to be consistent. You really have to do it to be able to see the result, because that's where transformation begins. Not in massive leaps, but in daily steps taken with purpose. So consistency is how faith becomes evidence. So that's the message for this point for you guys. And now let's see what is our key takeaway for this topic.
Talent can impress, but consistency transforms. If you keep showing up, learning, and taking small steps, result will come. You don't need to be the most gifted person in the room, just the one who doesn't quit.
Yes. So that's our message for this topic. And what is our message for the audience?
Okay, our message for you is choose one small action you will commit to daily this week. Comment consistent below and make that commitment visible. So let us know in the comments.
Yes. And we have arrived to the end of our life. So hopefully you learned something today. You know what is the importance of being consistent on everything you do. We are talking about here online business, but this really applies to anything in your life. You know, when you set your mind to do something, do a plan, baby steps, but to create that consistency, because when you create that consistency, you create those habits, that discipline, and that discipline and those habits is going to move you forward. It will keep that momentum and you're going to be able to do it. Yesterday I was in one of our Zoom meetings, and that's one of the things that he was saying, like if you it's better to commit to something small than to try to commit to something big. Why? Because along the way, if you commit to something big, you're gonna give up because you're gonna not gonna be able to achieve it. But if you start with something small, you're gonna be able to achieve that every time, and then eventually you can increase it little by little, and then you're going to be able to achieve to the actual goal that you want to achieve, but you already created that momentum, you already created that habit, that discipline. So if you like what we shared today, you can put it in the comments, and we'll be happy to read your tips if you have more tips for us in regards to this topic. And if you want to learn how to start an online business for 2026, creating that plan B or that extra side of income that you can build alongside your current job, here are 3 ways that you can learn more about this online business opportunity. You can either put in the comments more info, or you can send us a private message, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Or you can register directly into our websites with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch our live webinars. So we do have live webinars every Tuesdays and Thursdays at the same time, 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. So when you register into our website, you receive an email that will have 2 links. One is to register to the live webinar, so there you can register for either day or both. And the second one is the link to the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you cannot attend to the live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch the replay and watch it from the comfort of your own home. In addition to that, we also invite you to our private Facebook group, where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. Now, you probably wonder, so what is it that we're going to find out in this free webinar? In this free webinar, you're going to find out how an online business plan works, and also you get to hear from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start this online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So if you want to catch up the replay, yesterday's replay of the live webinar before this coming Tuesday, all you have to do is just get in touch with us, either put in the comments more info, send us a private message, or register directly into our website. All right, so let's find out what is our topic for next Friday.
Okay, our topic for next Friday is from intention to action, turning goals into habits.
Yes, so that's what we're going to be talking next Friday, because goals only work when habits supports them. So you can have all the goals that you want, but if you don't have those habits, like we were talking about consistency, then it's going to be hard to achieve those goals. So that's what we're going to be talking next Friday. So it's a very good one. So more tips, on how to create those habits, that discipline, to be able to achieve your goals. Okay, so we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. For those catching the replay, thank you so much. And to our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. So we want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Friday for those who are on Friday, and a happy and blessed Saturday for those who are on Saturday, and a happy and blessed weekend for everyone. So thank you again for being here with us today, and until the next episode of the Empowering Lives Through an Online Business. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all. Thank you for watching.